the internet through a standard web browser, but it's important that people develop a presence in the dark net so that if the main internet disappears someday, there's a good possibility that the dark net will still be up and running. It's far beyond the scope of this interview to try to describe it all here, but I know that a lot of people listening to this are quite intelligent and quite computer savvy. You folks need to take the time to research what the dark net is and how to get on the dark net. And as I mentioned previously, you also need to get set up with a Bitcoin account so that you can transact business on the dark net. It may become crucial in the next couple of years because the internet as we know it may be either partially or completely taken away from us.
Yeah, we know governments and corporations aren't just digging in physically. They're building their own secret networks and public networks and gearing up to weather the storm by design. The only question is, will enough of us get ready for this to perhaps slow it down or back it off or, by God's good graces, stop it? But governments have said it's a foregone conclusion. The Rockefeller Foundations, the British Ministry of Defense, they were writing this in the 60s, planned for around this time. Now that stuff's all public. They engineered it. They want it to happen. And that's, yep. I mean, people are like, oh, you guys are gloom and doom. Look, by the grace of God, if we avert this, that's great. The social engineers want this. It's on record, and you're insane if you don't get ready. Do you agree with that statement?
Yes, I do. Now, to get back to practical, tactical steps, beyond the dark net, the other thing that I recommend that people do is get themselves licensed as amateur radio operators and get an HF radio. You need to get or a multi-band, all-band radio, but HF is the crucial band to be able to access. You need to be, if you can't pick up a handset and key it up and be operating, between 10 and 40 megs, you're behind the power curve. You want to be able to have a radio, preferably on an alternative power system, which would mean a photovoltaic power system with a good-sized battery bank. And most of the ham rigs are 12 volt anyway, so you can tap directly into your battery bank. You don't have to go through an inverter. People need to have that as the ultimate backup, because if the internet goes down, we could see a situation where there's martial law in a few cities, but unless patriots can communicate, we're going to be powerless. We really need to be able to push to talk, as they say. So get a ham radio license, get together with your local ARRL affiliate ham radio club, get teamed up with an Elmer. An Elmer is like an old guy who teaches young guys how to use ham radio. Get linked up, matched up with a Elmer, and come up to speed on ham radio quickly.
That's right, because communications is everything. The globalists will shut this down during their purge. We're just awash in info today and don't appreciate it. But the power of ham radio, and I know a lot of patriots have been into this forever, is that we're going to have those communications, and then you can tune in anonymously, even having the wider band shortwave. But like you said, taking a course so you understand the nuances, sideband, single sideband, so you know what you're hearing. You notice that's what FEMA and all the systems uses their backup, the submarines. But notice they're now going to fully scrambled, and trying to get police locally on fully scrambled so we can't hear what's going on. I mean, you can see this corporate Borg takeover. Amazing information. All right, well, Mr. Rawls, I want to thank you for joining us. It's been an amazing discussion. James Wesley Rawls' book, Survivors, a novel, The Coming Collapse, available at INFOWARS.com. I know you're awake, folks, but your friends and family may not be. Great book to get and give them. Every Mind We Unlock. I think that's the biggest thing in preparedness, too, is also having friends and family informed and groups that can mutually aid each other. A final comment on that and anything else you'd like to add?
Well, just one quick follow-up on ham radio. Even for folks that are on a very limited budget, for literally just $50, you can buy a pretty good quality all-band receiver so that you can at least listen to ham radio traffic, including sideband traffic. There's some very inexpensive ones, some even under $30, like the Kaito brand. It's Kaito. And it's a very compact little receiver. I recommend that people, at the very minimum, get set up to listen to ham radio. But again, everything that you need to know in terms of physical preparation, you can find at my website at survivalblog.com. And even before the physical preparation, I think it's important that people get right with God. If you haven't renewed your Christian faith, don't expect to be able to pull through this. I'm a Christian, and I think it's very important that people get right with God. You can't expect God's covenantal blessings unless you're in the covenant.
Well said. And let's put your site back up. You have your IP address right there. We were showing the InfoWars address earlier. We can show the survival blog. It's 95.143.193.148. And we showed, and I've had my IT guys forever, so you got to promote this. I'm going to probably come out with a newspaper physically here soon, try to get out to people. And we'll probably have our IP address real big on there as well. Amazing information. James Wesley Rawls, thank you so much for spending time with us. Very powerful interview today.
Thank you so much, Alex, and may God bless all your listeners.
You too, my friend, all of your readers. All right, there goes James Wesley Rawls. If you want to support us so we can keep getting the word out and try to take the capital we've got to get more reporters, a physical newspaper, so that there's physical copies of what's coming and what's happening out to everybody. If you'd like to see this operation continue, it costs a lot of money every year to run it. Think about visiting InfoWarsShop.com. I have found the most inexpensive, high-quality shortwave radios. I've tested these myself. We've been carrying these 5 years now at the lowest price that you're going to find, and they're available at InfoWarsShop.com or InfoWarsStore.com. They're all there. They have sideband, single sideband, solar-powered, crank. This is what I have at my home. I've got quite a few of them so I can give them away to friends and family. But they're from, $50 up to $200. They're all right there. And the Kaitos are amazing. They're all really fantastic systems. And I hope that you'll visit InfoWarsShop.com and get those a lot lower, and you'll find them in stores. We also, for the water filtration, I've done the testing myself. We've got the side-by-side comparison. The ProPure is the best compared to all the gravity-fed filters. 10% discount with the code WATER at InfoWarsShop.com. And lastly, we carry Survivors there, but we have now, because I sold these like 6-7 years ago, but they sold out. They were, in fact, I'm going to pull the shrink wrap off of this. This is the book. I was like 12, 13 years old. I think I was about 12. That crystallized my awakening. I was already into history books because I found they were so entertaining. I didn't know any better when I was like 10, started reading them. None Dare Call Conspiracy ran out of print. They printed like 6 million, 5 million sold right away back in the 70s, 74 or so, the year I was born. And then there was only like 1 million left. Those are all sold. It's been reprinted. We have it for a limited time. We're not even sure the publisher is going to continue it. Discounted at InfoWarsShop.com. And you read this baby. I said 74. I haven't reread it since I got it again. I've scanned through it. 1971. I guess the one I got was a reprint in 74. Wow. 1971. This book lays it all out. Graphics, photos. It's only 140 pages long. And it's at InfoWarsShop.com. We also have When Disaster Strikes, Matthew Stein, a comprehensive guide for emergency planning and crisis survival. It's excellent. We also have When Technology Fails by Matthew Stein. Also very, very important. Very encyclopedic. And then you got this, Strategic Relocation, North American Guide to Safe Places, 3rd edition. And these are available, and you get a free citizen rule book and the rest of it at InfoWarsShop.com. Very important. And these maps coincide basically with what Rawls is saying. I hope we can avert this. I hope he's wrong. But I looked at the university studies. I've covered them here on air. 7 million people over 9 years of the Great Depression starved to death. My grandfather and all those old World War II vets that I'd go deer hunting with growing up all said that in Freestone County, where my dad's family's from, in East Texas, there were almost no deer, raccoons, possums. People make fun of people in the countryside, Michigan or Texas, eating possums. When your kids are starving to death, you eat possums. In fact, I'm told they taste like pumpkin pie whenever you're starving to death. There were almost no animals left. That was people that knew how to grow crops, people that knew how. Let me tell you something. The global, in Greece, it's totally collapsing. A few months into Argentina being collapsed in 2000, the Washington Post reported families in ripped business suits, like in an apocalypse. These were wealthy people. When a trailer overturned with cows on it, with knives cutting blobs of red flesh out, gobbling it. There was a saying, as rich as an Argentine. They were per capita wealthier than we were just 50, 60 years ago, but they were ripped off over and over again. The globalists do plan this. We may be able to stop them, but I'm telling you, this is their plan. And you already see with just being in a deep recession / depression how mean people are getting. This is going to get crazy. So number one, buy firearms, learn how to use them. I'm not a tough guy. I'm just saying, I've already thought about my family. I've got guns, and I got a lot of them, and I know how to shoot. You've seen that, moderate shooting skills in our Brothers in Arms 2 videos we've done. You need to get ready. You need to learn how to use it, and you need to have water filtration, things like that. You need to be ready. Lastly, here at the end of the show, I want to show you The Economist magazine. I haven't uploaded this yet. I shot a video. In fact, we're taping the show tonight. Perhaps we should download my little attack on Queen Elizabeth at the Barnes & Noble. I took my son yesterday. Because I've got like a little 3-minute video we should air tonight if we have time. Of course, if we did air this, it would mean it was earlier in the show. Or maybe we'll air it right here at the end as we go to break. Yeah, we got time to do that, don't we? I'm so long-winded. Maybe we do. But I bought this while I was there. The Economist. Please, can we start the engines now, Miss Merkel? The world economy. As if the Germans, who've bailed out close to $1 trillion to the global banksters, saying it's for Greece when their economy isn't even that big. They are implying that if Germany, because they want Germany to be blamed for all this in the end, doesn't give unlimited trillions to the banksters whose debt this has really been incurred by, that all of Europe's going to collapse. Notice Ireland, Greece, now Spain, Italy, Portugal. It's always, if this country gets the hundreds of billions it needs, which really goes to the bankers, everything will be okay. But if they don't, it's a depression. And then the next country, well, we'll see how Spain handles it. And then if you read the fine print, the banksters are the ones sinking the world economy so they can buy it up for pennies on the dollar. I mean, The Economist magazine throws this stuff directly in your face. All right, great job to the crew. Fabulous job this evening getting the word out. A pretty scary show, though. I hope you'll get this video, those of you watching on YouTube and other places, out to everyone. Again, if you want to support us, become a PrisonPlanet.tv subscriber. 15-day free trial running. You get to see all the films in higher def and 9 years of work plus that's posted here at PrisonPlanet.tv of my 17 years of work. Until tomorrow on the radio show, and until tomorrow, well, we won't have a radio show tomorrow. We'll have a radio show Sunday. It all blurs together. Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m., and then back Monday, 7 o'clock Central and 11 a.m. Central or 12 noon Eastern for the radio show. Until then, this is teleprompter-free Alex Jones signing off.